Another plank of conversation on the program Politics Today is to look at the declared vacant seat at the National Assembly, particularly as it relates to Edo Central Senatorial District and Ovia Federal Constituency. As is always the case, the politicians interested in these positions are already doing what they call mosquito campaigns. But the formal declaration by the National Assembly leadership paved the way for those who are really serious to be at the front burner and continue to move from place to place and begin their activities. Let me come to you now, Prosper. What does this portend for the political space in Edo State, particularly in terms of quality, capacity, and leadership as it relates to these declared vacant positions?
Well, I think the focus for me, I will speak about my senatorial district, Edo Central Senatorial District, if I would like to say to whom I stand proxy on this discussion. For me, I think the focus should be the character of the individuals that are putting themselves forth for elections and the sincerity of purpose of running for elections and the honesty of their intentions. Okay. So if we have these adequately checked, I'm sure we are good to go.
Okay, Shadrach, talk to me about this interesting scenario that is playing out in Edo State. What would have expected after the general election, I mean the governorship election on 21st of September? Perhaps we can just heave a sigh of relief that we're done with election. But here we are again, getting ready for another round of election, but at the National Assembly level. How ready are the people?
For me, it's just because I see it as shortage of personnel from the All Progressive Congress, because they had a lot of persons who had capacity to bring home the dividend of democracy. They won't be shopping for already elected persons to come and run for government. They would have had a governor. If they had good persons on ground, they would have had a governor and a deputy governor who are not sitting parliamentarians at the Federal House. Because that shows that there was no person on ground. They had to quickly go and shop to bring people that already.
But when you're in the contest, you bring your best foot forward.
Was it really the best? That's the question that's here.
It's subjective, you know.
It wasn't really the best. So for me, I only want to advise them. People of Edo Central should not look inwards. Because it happened that the last time they sent somebody to the Senate, many of them have regretted the outcomes because they've not seen nothing to show for the doing apart from maybe borehole and their school, which to a large extent is not the core reason why people are being sent to the federal election. They are sent there to ensure, to do, first of all, one of the most important is legislative oversight, to ensure that they checkmate the federal arm of government, the executive arm of government at the federal level, to ensure that the plans, programs, and agenda trickles down to the grassroots. They ensure that they make sure that they carve out body of laws by legislative processes and to ensure that there's the doctrine of separation of power. They don't do that anymore. What they do is that they collect money, rubber stamp legislation, and they come back home and they, out of the proceeds of corruption, they come and do borrow and grade road and pay children's school fees and make it look as though they are performing. When we know that they ought to do more. Nigeria federal government is failing today because they are simply appraised to be sleepy. So when they are going to be sending people down to the national, you send people that have the requisite competence and character. Character is most important because a man can be intelligent and choose to use intelligence for dubious means. So they are sending people there. You send somebody that is well educated. I say that again, well educated. Someone that has the intellectual capacity to engage and know what is duty, what is needed at this material point in time for the Nigerian people. Okay. Engage the federal government and ensure they bring all the dividends of democracy across board. So for me, the People's Democratic Party will be looking inwards. We'll bring in our best, bringing men of requisite competence and character. Okay. We don't have that in short supply. Okay. As we go to election, the people will be able to...
Let me get you in, Prosper. It's a record that just now the APC is beginning to assert itself in Edo Central Senatorial District as a party. Right. How do you think that will count in this decision process for the vacant seat in Edo Central?
Well, again, like I will always say, I would like to again thank the Executive Governor of Edo State, distinguished Senator Monday Okpebolo, for coming on board to change the narrative. In the history of Edo Central, you are aware that PDP is like a household name, but with the coming on board of His Excellency to run for Senate at that time as it then was, the narrative changed. As we speak in ASAM, vast majority of ASAM people are dedicated APC members. And I can tell you that for free. The performance of the governor, as he then was a senator, it beats me hollow in terms of service delivery to the people. It's not just about borehole. If you are here talking about the proceeds of corruption, they are coming to do borehole, that means you have deviated completely from what we are here to talk about. This is not about, you are not targeting the person. You are looking at the comparative analysis of, historical antecedents of those who have been there and what has been done over time under review. This should form the basis of our discussion. But when you now come to talk about, that they do the proceeds of corruption or the money they stole from the National Assembly, they come and do borehole, it's a misfit. If you have a personal non grata on the governor, that's a separate issue. But to say that they have not, the governor, immediate past senator, have just been declared vacant by the National Assembly, didn't perform well, it might just be an oversight for you, honestly speaking.
Okay. I really don't believe the APC has a numerical strength in Edo Central.
You are not from Edo Central, and I can tell you this for free.
I've been in politics.
I can tell you this for free. It is very easy for you to criticize
let me give you the
because
figures.
you are not there. No, you are quoting wrong figures. We can't. If we allow you to talk about the figures, you may be misleading Edo people.
Okay, let me just let me give you my opinion. If you look, see, if you had put a Heineken bottle to contest with Clifford Odia, put Heineken bottle in APC to contest with Clifford Odia in the last 2020 election, the Heineken bottle would have won. Because there were massive protest votes on the principle of rotation of power, wanting to put in place the virtue of equity. Let there be even distribution, equal access to power and empowerment by the people of Edo Central. That was one of the major precedents. If you look at the votes that APC got in 2019 general election, compared to the votes APC got in 2020 election, you will see the same figure. Compare that to the People's Democratic Party. We had statutory voters. In the last election that took place, where Pebble was from Edo Central, did Pebble win Edo Central? Put together all the votes, even the rigged votes. Put together the rigged vote. PDP still won Edo Central. So what are we not talking about? You're making it look as though that there's a magic one that they all progress. And we talk about the APC. What is their agenda on Nigeria? What has been their system? What have they brought home to show that All Progressive Congress means well for this country, both at the federal level and what they're not doing now at the state level? At the federal level, it has been double-digit inflation, numerous corruption, baseless, directionless, and purposeless government at the federal level. And yet, people in APC see no problem in it because they believe that once an APC man is there, some directly or indirectly, the table may turn somehow, and I may get a patch, something will fall on my table that I can leak.
Now you talk about 2023. Wasn't the result of the 2023 election self-inflicted by the PDP in Edo State, particularly as it relates to Edo Central?
Yes, for me, it was self-inflicted in as much as it was still this issue of there was wranglings, there was interparty, which is a common thing. When people do not agree, they try to express their displeasure of their voting. And that was what, as I speak to you today, that the People's Democratic Party are more stronger and united. And that's why we were able to deal with them mercilessly in the 2020 election, despite the fact that they poured out humongous resources and rigged the election mercilessly. PDP still came on top in the legislature, where they had brought their strong man, where their strong man was senator, a city senator was defeated in Central District. So when you begin to speak as though that they're going to wave their hand and bring somebody out from dust somebody out from the fires and make the person senator, I laugh because when we enter into the pool, we will separate the boys from the men.
Okay. Prosper Iyere, so much is expected from your party, the APC, as it relates to choice making in the senatorial district. What are your projections?
Well, for me, I think that Edo people always have it in the back of their mind, and especially the good people of Esan, that we have always believed that the development of Esan nation must be firmly rooted under the artistic sensibility of our people, encouraged by audience response, sometimes to most of the theater experimental programs within the senatorial district. But looking at the Phillips election up ahead, I feel very strongly that the best will come from APC that will help to build Esan alongside the change mantra of His Excellency, the Governor of Edo State. I'm very confident about that, and I can tell you this again for free.
There's a talk about microzoning to Agbazilo. How true is that?
Well, you see, first of all, when I was a member of the Esankpa initiative, who came on board from the very beginning before the elections, and we went round the 3 senatorial districts trying to, conscientize leaders of these various senatorial districts, Edo South and Edo North respectively, on the need for them to look at equity, and justice and help to bring the ticket to ASAN, whether for PDP or for Labour or for APC. But as God will have it, at that time, we were able to get two, being the PDP ticket and the APC ticket. Now, the equity that we talked about at that time is going to be in play now, because distinguished Senator Monday Okpewolo is from Agbazilo, which is Ekpoma, Igwebe, and Irua. Then the Agbazilo is just two local governments, Ubiaja and Urumi. Unfortunately, Urumi is already holding a very, very vibrant position in the House of Reps. Honorable Odianosen Okoje is already in the House of Reps. It is only just fair that the ticket goes to Eastern Southeast Local Government, Ubiaja. And if it gets to Eastern Southeast Local Government, Ubiaja, the administrative headquarters of that local government, is already in the House of Assembly. Then if you go to Ewohimi, we already have somebody who is already Victor, Honorable Victor Eboegbe, is already in the House, is already a member, a federal commissioner at the federal level. Ewato, Ward 3, Constituency 1, should be given an opportunity to produce the next senator for the senatorial district.
All right, thank you very much, Prosper. There's another vacancy declared in Ovia Federal Constituency. There's a talk about the APC having won that constituency consistently back-to-back with Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, that this trend is going to continue.
No, and they lost in 2020. They lost Ovia in this 2024 general election, the gubernatorial election. So when we speak of these the senatorial districts, the federal constituency, they are now within the ambit of the People's Democratic Party. So what we need to do is to look inward, get the men of requisite capacity, and then fight them for office. And then with the grass failure, I must admit, the grass failure of the APC at the national level, and with the obvious rejection of APC at the state level, to be a walk in the park to ensure that we bring in a party that has conscience, a party that understands the need for viable and prominent institutions to be in power.
All right, let's get the calls coming in. Hello, caller. Good morning, and tell us your name, where you're calling from. Go ahead with your contribution. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Honorable Samuel.
Okay. Just try and turn down the audio level on your television or radio to remove the echo so we can hear you better.
Okay, I want to first of all disapprove with the other man here. But if some people are all with the agenda of, I'm satisfied with regime of the APC or something. So that is a blatant lie. Yes, some people were satisfied with what is going on. The question was totally ringed out. It is very disheartening to find out that some people in this country they don't know what it means to have good governance. It's going on in the country alone. Issue blatant cry. The people are suffering. Things are going backward. Why? Because of bad governance used by the APC. The parties are yet. Let's look at the people. Let's look at the hike of price, look at insecurity, look at the insignificant policies that have been created. Government, a lot of Nigerians believe by the grace of God, they are going to be pulled out. Believe that one day, just praying only, we are watching, and we pray that revolution should not happen because Nigerians are suffering.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you for your views and the perspectives you just shared with us on the program. Next caller is on the line. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from, and go ahead with your contribution. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes.
This is USA on the line.
Okay, USA, yeah.
I told you people repeatedly, Nigerians don't understand what democracy is all about. What we discuss on radio, issue of road, Oh my God. When you are practicing democracy, the first thing you notice, I repeat, when you are practicing democracy, the first thing you notice is what? Civilized political behavior. The president or the government, clearly civilized, he cannot contemplate of making his family and himself comfortable, the rest of us into a... He takes a look at how he can use the political system, the nation on up front, in the area of economy, health, etc., etc. What are we discussing? That's why they're not that I'm going to do the plea, we should stop embarrassing our nation.
All right. All right. Thank you, USA. Always a delight to have you join us on the program. Yeah, our studio line is still open. You can dial it right now, 080-7777-0300. That's the studio number, 080-7777-0300. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Okay, where are you calling us from? All right, go ahead, please.
About the budget. Yes, our governor already presented a budget of 605 billion to the House and already passed it for implementation. What is to make the budget and other thing to implement the judiciary? Yeah. Both local government, state government, and federal government make budget. But at the end of the day, do anything do with the budget. I think our governor, as it's almost half of the budget go to construction or load and replace. That is very, very good. I think that look into security. I don't know how much the budget on security. The primary of a read that is quite life province of the citizens. Because those say it's not safe, I tell it with my brother. But, so go back to their time.
All right, thank you. Thank you, caller from Uwelu. Much obliged to have you join us on the program. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're live on Politics Today on independent television and radio. Give us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning. Hello, caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. We have a challenge with that call. Maybe you can get back to us again. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Let us know where you're calling us from, and then go ahead with your contribution. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Man.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, you are on with Honorable Aliu Ogaje, and I thank ITV for putting up like this for we to be able to also air our view.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
And we need to applaud the governor for the very first time in Nigeria that, a government is coming in place and will be able to, to ensure the balance that a budget, yearly budget that put in place was supposed to take the chunk, the chunk of the, of the budget for capital expenditure, while the current expenditure side a bit lower. To have in the past was that they everything on the current expenditure and nothing for current expenditure that will not even be implemented. So what we need to do is to pray that, with this budget presentation and breakdown, the government should be able to, follow them to the letter so that we see we see the benefit of it all. I think the intention is very clear. I think it shows that the government is ready and is enthusiastic.
All right, thank you very much, caller. I think the point our last caller made is very valid in this conversation as it relates to the 2025 Edo State budget, with the capital expenditure far outweighing the recurrent expenditure, which is one major talking point about budget in this country for a long, long time, as far as I can remember. Let's take just one more call before we call it a wrap. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
It's Solomon. I'm calling from Ugbo Road in GRA.
Okay, please just speak up a little bit so we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Solomon. I'm calling from Ugbo Road, GRA.
Yes, go ahead, Solomon. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me the chance to talk.
Go ahead.
So my question goes out to the guy in the middle. Pardon me for not knowing his name.
The guy on what?
In the government without a bureaucracy, because normally government normally have bureaucracy, and there are lots of paperwork that goes on in government. A government cannot take a project without knowing what to do and passing out the normal paperwork. So you criticizing a government that is just barely a month or some few days is being biased. You understand? Because there was a government that was in power for like.
Okay, I'm sure the point you wanted to make has been well established, but we didn't quite get the other part of your comment. But I want to say thank you for contributing. A big thanks to all our callers on television or came through television or radio for being a part of the program today. Politics Today on independent television and radio. The 2025 Edo State budget has been passed, has been presented, and of course at the State House of Assembly, and then we heard this past the second reading, and that means it's good to go. So we hope that when it comes into full throttle, everything inherent will be implemented for the betterment of Edo people in terms of quality of life, in terms of reducing hunger, in terms of reducing poverty, in terms of making life more meaningful. That's the minimum expectations from Edo people. And those who have the opportunity to be in government now should also work in line with the vision of the leadership of this government led by distinguished Senator Monday Ukpabolo and Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, Governor and Deputy Governor, respectively. And we hope that at the end of the day, we have every reason to be grateful to God for giving them the opportunity to come on board. For the declared vacant seat, the onus, as usual, is on the political parties not to allow sentiments and other primordial issues overwhelm their thinking processes to bring forth the best of the best to represent the party and the people at the national level. This is also the minimum expectations. And that's why we draw the curtains on the program today, Politics Today, on independent television and radio. I want to say big thanks to Shedrack Dubai, former Special Advisor, Political Affairs at the State Government. Thank you for coming. And Prosper Iyure, former member of the Youth Parliament of Nigeria, Abuja. Thank you for coming on the program.
My pleasure. Also.
And to everyone that made the show a huge success, this is saying thank you for staying with us. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye for now.